Welcome back to Kin in Line. This is part 51, I make it. So this was just a random drawing I found, and I think this was done in Catburg. There are two places inland from East London that people like to go to see mountains. And one is the Hogsback and the other is Catburg. Both particularly popular, but there are others obviously closer to the Drakensberg. Can't really remember this outing, but it would have been done in the early 80s, I think. Most of my drawings, though, however, were done on the Bonza Bay beach. This is a classic example. 3 oaks, 3 people sitting around under an umbrella. And quite a nice feel to this, I think. Bottle shared there, maybe they were having a bit of a drinking session as well. This face reminds me of some of those sketches I did at art school. If only you'd focus nicely. Where you sort of do a couple of lines to capture the final thing, and it's never fixed in one spot, you know. Here we've got, as a young male, unencumbered by a relationship, one kind of envied a guy lying next to his bikini-clad girlfriend, faces hidden behind that handbag on the beach. But this is what I grew up with, girls walking around the beach dressed like that. It wasn't easy, I tell you. It wasn't a laughing matter, though this guy seems to find it quite amusing. You can just see a suggestion of the waves breaking at the Bonza Bay beach. And this one captures quite nicely. This almost looks like Chris Coombs that I was at art school with, who I was at art school with. 2 nicely suggested little dogs there. And in the background is Nahoon Beach and Nahoon Reef. Little waves heading shoreward here at Bonza Bay. Quite a good outing here. I mean, several really nice, different drawings, This chap standing in the shallows, facing out to sea. And again, I've got like a little figure down the left there that just balances the composition. I don't even know if it's meant to be a dog or a person, but it's not really important. Yeah. Another quite nice drawing. Couple. Oh, look at that woman's bust. Yeah, I really had it. Considering I'm working on this real cheap sort of jotting paper, whatever you call it. Oomduk, they used to call it in South Africa. Here's a quick one of a little kid playing in the sand. I would later draw my own kids doing this in the 90s. And I would also end up doing this with my kids. Sort of carrying them into the surf and terrorizing them with the waves pushing underneath. I think it must have been quite traumatic. Anyway, that's what parents do, I guess. They just subject their kids to new experiences and hope that they don't do more harm than good. This looks like another interesting little sketch pad I created. Not always flattering are my drawings, but then I'm not there to sort of photograph people and make them feel happy about themselves. It's just about the drawing, you know. Another quick one, or another isolated one. Yeah, this was probably in the PFB office. We had an office in Devereux Avenue for most of the time I worked there. Briefly moved to Cambridge and then to Upper Oxford Street. But the Devereux Avenue was the best period for me anyway. I spent 3 years working for the PFB. Can't remember him. Top left looks like a clergyman of sorts. So many drawings from so many different periods, you know. It's quite hard to pin them all down. Like this, I mean, this is another little drawing book I created for myself. I have no idea who this was, even what sex it is. Could be a sort of masculine-looking woman. Anyway. This one opens out. David Goldblatt, it says there. He's a journalist or writer. And this is Darius Brubeck, son of, was he the jazz musician? I know he's Anton Brubeck, no, what is his name? Anyway, there was a son that came out to South Africans and taught jazz actually at the University of Natal. So this isn't from life, this is just a bit of fun with a nice pen and ink. We saw that one, and then I ended up doing quite a few of these bizarre sketches. If you'll just come into focus, please. I suppose a psychologist could make something of this. Maybe it's a symbol of supposed male superiority with this. He's on top and she's kind of at the end of his very long arm. I just spotted this, which is looks like I tried to design a house. Having grown up with a father who designed houses, this must have been done at some point where I had ambitions of designing my own home, you know. One does. Not that I had any real experience. I just had parents who did it. Because my mom started helping my father when he actually even had too much work for one person. Miracle. Just trying to... Yeah, unfortunately this page got bent, but these were done at a circus. I think it must have been in East London. It's probably the last time. Although I did take my sons once to the circus. But these were, Boswell Wilkie was the name of the circus. And this guy's on stilts, clearly. as a kid, I mean, there was nothing better than the excitement of an evening circus show, you know. The big top, they used to call it. Looks like a clown performing there. And I think we could have a tightrope walker here. All done just in a few seconds, really. And then I don't know who this serious-minded looking chap is. Another page of sketches. Some very light, pale sketches here, but quite nice actually. Of women. Yeah, these probably are ladies who used to come into the office, to the PFP office to help draw up these canvas cards that I showed you. Each one had to be done by hand, you know, every name taken off the voter's roll. So those work quite nicely, those little pale sketches. But oh yeah, here's one of them in a more sort of complete sketch. With her pen in hand, so clearly she was helping us. We used to have to write up all these cards, thousands of, and that was only a whites only voters roll. So. Not a very complete drawing of somebody standing. African person out on the street somewhere. Can't remember, these really drawn on flimsy paper. Yeah, that's about that. Does that one. We've just got a little pile of drawings from the imagination again. Little landscape here. And another one. And here is a landscape, which is actually a figure. Bit more fun here. Ain't it nice? Not sure what that's about with this guy's neck. And just to remind us that this is where I would be heading when I got to Port Elizabeth, to paint more signs for the army. But more of that a bit later. I don't know if I've done a drawing on this. Nope. Yeah. So we'll leave you contemplating Regiment Petratif. Cheers for now.